Hare. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. I apologize for the delay. Please accept my humble obeisances at your lotus feet. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta koti vaishnav vrinda ki jai. Om Ajnanatirmirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedant Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. So dear devotees, we are continuing our study of Sri Bhagavad Gita, 10th chapter, and in the previous session we read texts 8, 9 and 10. And 8, 9, 10 and 11 are the four most important verses of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, and they are called the chhatushloki Gita. Bhagavad Gita in four essential shlokas. So let's do a very quick recap of the first three verses, starting from text 8. Aham sarvasya prabhavo matah sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samanvitaha. Who would like to explain this in simple words? What is Shri Krishna saying? Please raise your hand. Come on. Yes, Abhinav.
Prabhuji, very simply, it's Lord Krishna is the source of everything, and the wise people worship him knowing that.
The wise people worship him?
Knowing that he's the source.
With knowledge of Krishna. Okay, good. That brings us to text 9. Machchitta madgata prana bodhayantah parasparam kathayantascha mam nityam tushyanti cha ramanti cha. What is Shri Krishna teaching through this shloka in simple words? Who would like to answer? Yes, Keshamadha Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Danda Pranam. To this particular shloka in over here, Krishna actually helps us understand Vaishnava relationships, and he also mentions that those devotees who constantly think of me, they are fully dedicated towards my service. They think of nothing else except for serving me.
Very good. Very good. Sundarangi Radha Mataji, would you like to add something? I don't think Mataji lowered her hand. So, in this verse, yes, Mataji, want to add something?
Krishna Prabhu, sorry, I was not able to unmute. Similar answer to Keshav Madhav Prabhu, and it also reminds us how to have Vaishnava dealings when we are meeting in the temple congregations as well.
Yes. This verse tells us what we are supposed to do in the association of devotees. Shri Krishna clearly says that in the association of devotees, we are supposed to discuss Krishna Katha and inspire each other in Krishna consciousness. Achyut Kishore Prabhu, the weather is good this weekend. I hope you understood. So put a message in the group. Text 10. Tesham satatayuktanam bhajatam pritipurvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mam upayanti te. What is Shri Krishna saying in 10, verse number 10? Yes, Achyut Kishore Prabhu.
Prabhuji, Lord Krishna is saying here that to those who are constantly thinking of me or remembering me in devotion, so Lord Krishna gives them the understanding through which they can continue to devote themselves to Lord Krishna.
Excellent. So see, the flow is like this. Chhatushloki Bhagavad Gita. First verse is verse number 8 of the 10th chapter. There Shri Krishna says that I am the Supreme Lord. Everything has a relationship with me because everything has its origin in me. The wise who know this about me, that I am the only true person with whom they have a relationship. Remember, we discussed that there are vertical relationships and there are horizontal relationships. Horizontal relationships don't hold because in this life, somebody is somebody's spouse, somebody is somebody's parent, somebody is somebody's child. But in the next life, that same relationship may not be there. And we have had millions and millions and millions of births in millions and millions of material universes since time immemorial. So the horizontal relationships that we have with other living entities, they are not really true relationships because they are temporary, they keep changing, and they have nothing to do with our constitutional position. Whereas our vertical relationship with Krishna is eternal, it is true, and it will sustain. This is the difference. In this 8th verse, Shri Krishna is saying that your only real relationship is with me. All other relationships in this world, relationships with your parents, with your partner, your spouse, your children, your friends, your neighbors, your country, it is all temporary. As Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada once told Shri Subhas Chandra Bose, the freedom fighter, that you are thinking so much about the British. If you were to die in a battle with the British, because you're always thinking about them, how to beat them, how to defeat them, how to oust them from our motherland, it is possible that in your next life you may become a Britisher. And then where is your loyalty and patriotism to India, Bharat? Your loyalty will change to UK. So this shows us that all relationships and affiliations that we have in this material world are temporary. They are subject to change. But our relationship with Krishna is eternal and it will never change. And what is that relationship? Jivera Swarup hai Krishnera Nitya Das. Our relationship is to serve Krishna, to please Krishna, to love Krishna, to be with Krishna. And that is exactly what Sri Krishna says in this verse. Bhajatam Priti Purvakam in verse 10. So in 8th verse, Sri Krishna establishes himself as the Supreme Lord and establishes our real dharma, our Jaiva dharma. What is that? Buddha Bhava Samanvita. That we should worship him with all our heart if we are intelligent. Then in the ninth verse, Shri Krishna says, what do the Buddha Jan, the intelligent people, do when they congregate? And that is Matchitta. They are always Krishna conscious. They are always thinking of me. Madgata Prana. Their lives are dedicated to Krishna. Shri Krishna is saying their lives are dedicated to me. Now, Asha Mataji, I want you to do one exercise. Tan, tan, tan. Spotlight on Asha Mataji. Asha Mataji, take any devotee and tell us how that devotee's life is Mad Gata Prana. Take any devotee that you admire. You don't have to take any name. And think, contemplate, and explain how this devotee is Mad Gata Prana, how this devotee's life is dedicated to Shri Krishna. You can think of any great devotee, pure devotee, even Guru Maharaj. That makes it easy, right?
Actually, I was thinking of Guru Maharaj. Starting from first identifying a guru, surrendering to them, then even without having too much interaction or meeting, just taking on their instructions and imbibing them and following their instructions without any second thought, like unalloyed devotion, basically. And all the things, like right from chanting, absorption in chanting, taking the Lord's name with pure bhakti, and then whether it is book distribution, preaching, so many things, Prabhuji.
So ultimately everything is connecting to Krishna.
Connecting to Krishna.
Now think of a materialistic person who has nothing to do with Krishna consciousness and explain how their life is not Madgata Prana. Their life is not dedicated to Krishna. Whatever they do is not going to connect them to Krishna in the true sense.
Yeah, people, I see some of the friends or colleagues, all their life is work hard, party harder, and enjoy. And Monday to Friday slog like crazy, work long hours and be in that competitive spirit. And weekends, it's all about go do a movie marathon, just enjoy, and then come sluggish on a Friday, Monday morning because they've exhausted. It's just because they have used up all their senses in sense gratification.
And then when you ask them, so how was your weekend? Their reply is too short. Or can't complain. Because they want to complain, but they're saying, okay, they feel guilty that complaining so much. Okay, can't complain.
Yeah.
So yes, that is the life of a materialist, and what Sri Krishna is describing is the life of a spiritualist. And the life of a materialist and the life of a spiritualist are always at odds with each other. They can never match. They can never be compatible. Ya nisha sarvabhutani tasyam jagrati samyami yasyam jagrati bhutani sa nisha pashyato mune. Who knows the translation of this? Raise your hand. Advait Chandra's brain is working faster than computer. In childhood, we used to read a cartoon, Chacha Chaudhary. So, yes, Chaitanya Chandra Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Gurdhan Pran. Yes, Prabhu. The translation, I believe, is what is daytime for the spiritualist is nighttime for the materialist. What is night for the materialist is the time of awakening for the spiritualist.
Yes. In other words, the life of a Krishna Bhakta and life of a Krishna Abhakta will always be very, very different. So in the eighth verse, the first of the, now listen, everybody pay attention, because once we are done with the chhatushloki, we are not going to go any further, because these four verses are very, very important. They should be ingrained in our consciousness. So after this, I am going to role play a materialist, and all of you are devotees. And you, I have no idea about Bhagavad Gita. And all of you have to raise your hands one by one and teach me the chhatushloki. So pay attention. Eighth verse was Aham sarvasya prabhava mata sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samanvita. That I am the source of everything, I am the Supreme Lord, and everything has a relationship with me because everything has its origin in me, including you. Therefore, if you are intelligent, you will worship me with all your heart. Then Arjun may ask, okay, Buddha means an intelligent person, bhava samanvita, will worship me with bhava, with feelings. So, how do these Buddha people, these intelligent people who know you as the Supreme, who understand their sambandha, relationship with you, and who worship you, bhajante mam, they serve you with feelings. Bhajante means to serve. Bhajante mam, Buddha, bhava samanvita. They worship you with love, they serve you with love and feelings. What do they do? Do they live in a bubble? Do they live like the dhyanis and gyanis in isolation? Do they become Mauni sadhus, sadhus who take a vow never to speak? Do they go off in some forest and live? Then in the ninth verse, Shri Krishna says, no. These devotees, mat chitta. It doesn't matter whether they are in solitude or they are in a big congregation or they are in a crowd. It does not matter. They are mat chitta. Their chitta, their consciousness is absorbed in me. Mat chitta. They are always Krishna conscious. Their minds dwell in me. And mat gata prana. Their prana, their life is mat gata. Their life is devoted, dedicated to me. Mat gata prana. Anything they do in their life, it may be their 9 to 5 job, it will be connected to me. It will bring them closer to me. It will contribute to my mission. Their 9 to 5 job will contribute to my mission. Shri Krishna is saying. That is the meaning of Madgata Prana. Their lives are devoted to me. They earn money, they will use it for Krishna consciousness. At workplace, if they get an opportunity, they will speak about me. I was quite embarrassed. This happened yesterday. We have this secure chat on Epic, our electronic medical record system, and then we are constantly chatting with the doctors and the social workers and the nurses and the physical therapists and speech therapists, always going on. And one patient was a very, very difficult discharge, and somehow everything, the teamwork was fantastic and everything worked out. The tests were done, the medicines were started, the prescriptions were delivered to the bedside, transportation was arranged, insurance approval was obtained, and the patient was boom, discharged. So after many messages, finally when the last message came that excellent teamwork, the patient is successfully discharged. So I said, Haribol. I typed Haribol. And excuse me, what was that? And there, it takes time to. Previously, you could not even delete. Now you can delete and edit. But I typed Haribol, and then I just edited it and said, "Way to go." So anyway, so a, a devotee's life is always dedicated to Krishna. Whatever is there, a devotee will connect it to Krishna. That is called Madgata Prana. Shri Krishna is saying. And then what do they do when they come in front of each other, when they congregate, when they meet each other, devotees? Bodhayanta Parasparam. they will inspire each other. They will talk to each other about me. Bodhayanta parasparam kathayantascha mam. Shri Krishna is saying they will do my katha. Kathayantascha mam. They will do Krishna katha. So if devotees are doing Krishna katha together, then they are well situated, according to Krishna's opinion. So Machitta, they are always thinking of me. Madgata Prana, their lives are completely aligned with Shri Krishna's mission. Bodhayanta Parasparam, they will always talk to each other about Krishna, inspire each other in Krishna consciousness. Kathayanta Shamam Nityam, and Nityam, they are always doing Krishna Katha. And Tushchanti cha Ramanti cha. Tushchanti cha Ramanti cha. Which means my devotees, Shri Krishna is saying, their joy is in Krishna consciousness. They don't look for anything outside of ISKCON. They don't look for anything outside of Krishna consciousness. Don't think of ISKCON as just some sectarian institution. International Society for Krishna Consciousness. So anybody who is Krishna conscious can be considered to be in ISKCON. So Krishna consciousness. These devotees, they will instruct each other about Krishna consciousness. Bodhayanta parasparam. And kathayantaschamam nityam. They will always speak about me. They will always speak Krishna Katha. They will do Krishna Nam Sankirtan. They will distribute my books. They will give lectures about me. They will hear lectures about me. They will go to my temple. They're always doing Krishna Katha. They're always doing activities of Krishna consciousness. Kathayantascham Nityam and Tushchan Ticha Raman Ticha. This is all they want. It is not that 6 days they will do Krishna consciousness and 7th day they will say, today no 16 rounds. Today is my off day. Today I will watch movie. Today I will watch cricket. Today I will watch politics. Today I will sleep excessively. No. Their happiness is in Krishna consciousness. They do not look outside Krishna consciousness for enjoyment. They get their enjoyment from Krishna Katha. They get their enjoyment from Harinam Sankirtan. They get their enjoyment from watching Krishna conscious dramas. They get their enjoyment from doing deity worship. They get their enjoyment by going out on book distribution. They get their enjoyment by serving devotees, by cooking for devotees, by offering prasad to devotees. Dadati pratigranhati guhyam akhyati prachati bhungte bhojayate chaiva shadvidha priti lakshanam. This is what gives them happy. Tushyanticha ramanticha. Tushyanticha means they become happy and satisfied. Ramanticha means they thoroughly enjoy. This is the enjoyment. What is the enjoyment? Machitta, madgata prana, bodhayanta parasparam, kathayantascha mam nityam. Doing Krishna Katha, instructing each other, inspiring each other, associating with each other, thinking of me, and making their lives completely devoted to me, aligned with my mission. Shri Krishna says that this is how my devotees live, Arjuna. And then if Arjuna asks, and what is the result of doing this? Shri Krishna says, Tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam. Such devotees who are always engaged in my service and they worship me with love, they serve me with love, they call out to me with love, they practice the limbs of bhakti with love. Priti purvakam dadami. To them I give something, a return gift. My reciprocation. Yathamam prapadyante tam sathaya bhajamyam. And what is that reciprocation? That reciprocation, dadami buddhi yogam. I give them buddhi yoga. Buddhi yoga means spiritual intelligence. Buddhi yoga means vivek buddhi. Buddhi yoga means Krishna consciousness. Buddhi yoga means bhakti yoga. I give them the right intelligence, Krishna conscious intelligence, yenamam upayantite, by which they attain me. Which means Krishna gives them the passport to Golok Vrindavan. To whom? Tesham Sartayuktanam Bhajatam Pritipur. Those who are always engaged in Krishna consciousness and not engaged mechanically, but Priti Purvakam, with love, with feelings. Krishna is emphasizing again and again the importance of doing things from the heart. with feelings, not mechanically. Bhava samanvita in verse number 8. And now in verse number 10, bhajatam priti purvakam, with love. Then I give them the knowledge by which they can come to me. Buddhi yoga. Ye namam upayandite. And that brings us to today's verse, verse number 11. Teshamevanukampartham aham ajnanajam tamah नाशयामि आत्मभावस्थो ज्ञानदीपेन भास्वता. This is a very, very heart-touching and poignant verse of Bhagavad Gita. Why? Because this tells us about our fallen condition, our deplorable condition, and Krishna's mercy. When someone is desperately in need of something, and Shri Krishna comes and provides that, then the love, the faith of the devotee increases tremendously. And that's exactly what happens in this verse. And the proof is, after hearing verse number 11, Arjun, right in the middle of the Bhagavad Gita, goes in ecstasy. Param Brahma, Param Dham, Pavitram, He interrupts Krishna. He interrupts Krishna and goes into ecstasy and says, Param Brahma, Param Dham, Pavitram, Paramam Bhavan, Purusham, Shashpratam Divyam, Adi, Devam, Ajam, Vibhum, Ahustam Rishas Sarve, Devarshir Narada Satha, Asito Devalo, Swayam Chaiva, Bravishime. Asito Devalo Vyasam, Swayam Chaiva Bravishime. Arjun glorifies Krishna like anything, right in the middle of Bhagavad Gita. That is the effect of the chhatushloki, Bhagavad Gita. And specifically this 11th verse. What is Krishna saying in the 11th verse? My dear friends, let's try to understand. Shri Krishna is saying, Tesham evanukam partham. And these devotees who are Matchitta, these devotees who are Madgata Prana, these devotees who are Bodhayanta Parasparam, these devotees who are Kathayantas Chamam Nityam, these devotees who are Tushanti Cha Ramanti Cha, these devotees who are Sadatam Yuktanam, these devotees who are Bhajatam Priti Purvakam. If they fall down, if they get enveloped by Maya, if they get blinded by the darkness of ignorance, then, my dear Arjun, I intervene. Not because I am bound to, but because I love my devotees. Tesham eva anukampartham. Shri Krishna is saying. And what is anukampa? Anu means to follow. Anugami means जो पीछे पीछे चलता है, one who follows behind. Gaman means to walk. Anugami means one who walks behind, follows. Anukampa. Anukampa in simple, plain language means mercy. However, if we look at the word carefully and analyze it etymologically, Anukampa. Kampa. Kampan means to tremble. Romanchakampa Shrutaranga Bhajo. Ashru. Romanch, hair standing on end, and kampa, body trembling, shivering like this. These are the ecstatic symptoms. So kampa means to shiver, tremble. Anukampa, and anu means to follow. Anukampa means, my dear friends, when the devotee is shivering and trembling and crying, Shri Krishna says, I do the same. I follow. If my devotee is having kampan because of pain, because of suffering, because of desperation, because of loneliness, because of dejection, because of a broken heart, my devotee is shaking and shivering and trembling, loses their composure, then Anu, I am there with them, empathizing with them. I feel their pain. I experience the distress that they experience. My dear friends, Krishna is saying Anukampa. Tesham evanukampartham. Artha means for the purpose of. Shri Krishna is saying, for the purpose of expressing my Anukampa, my mercy, heartfelt mercy, my empathetic mercy to my devotees, what do? Tesham evanukampartham aham, I myself. I don't delegate. I myself. Aham. Ajnanajam tamah. Ajnan means ignorance. Ajnanajam means born out of ignorance. What? Tama. Tama means darkness. Nashayami. I destroy. Shri Krishna says, I destroy the darkness born of Adnyan, ignorance. Shri Krishna says, I myself destroy, Nashayami, the darkness, Tamaha, that is born, Jama, out of ignorance, Agyan. Tesham evanu kampartham aham adnyanajam tamaha nashayami atmabhavastho jnana deepena bhaswata. With the jnana deep, deep means lamp, jnana means knowledge. With the lamp of divine knowledge, bhaswata, with the effulgence of the lamp of divine knowledge sitting in their heart, I dispel the darkness born out of their ignorance. This is Sri Krishna's promise. That on the path of Krishna consciousness, on the path of Bhajatam Priti Purvakam, if my devotee slips into the darkness of ignorance, I myself destroy that ignorance with the shining lamp of Divya Jnana, divine knowledge. How beautiful is Sri Krishna. How wonderful is Krishna. When Arjun heard this, Arjun went into ecstasy. Param Brahma, Param Dham, Pavitram, Paramam Bhava. Why? Can someone answer? Why Arjun went into ecstasy after hearing this 11th verse? Where Sri Krishna is saying, Srila Prabhupada's translation, to show them special mercy, I, dwelling in their hearts, destroy with the shining lamp of knowledge the darkness born out of ignorance. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada says, when Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was in Banaras, promulgating the chanting of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, thousands of people were following him. Prakashananda Saraswati, a very influential and learned scholar in Banaras, at that time derided Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu for being a sentimentalist, called him Bhavuk in a very condescending way, in a very derogatory way. Avajananti mam mudha manushim tanum ashritam. Sri Krishna already said that in Bhagavad Gita. When I come in a human form, the fools deride me. Avajananti mam mudha. Fools, mudhas, they deride me, they criticize me. Avajananti. But Krishna is so merciful that if someone who is inimical against Krishna consciousness attacks Krishna, Krishna will still give a chance to that blasphemer to come to the right path of Krishna consciousness by giving the association of his dear devotees. And when the devotee slips away from the pure path of bhakti and gets entrapped and ensnared by illusion, by ignorance, by Maya, then Sri Krishna himself takes it upon himself to save the devotee. Srila Prabhupada writes in the last paragraph, due to the contamination of material association through many, many millions of births, one's heart is always covered with dust of materialism. But when one engages in devotional service and constantly chants Hare Krishna, the dust quickly clears and one is elevated to the platform of pure knowledge. Many, many millions of births of contamination is going away very quickly if we constantly chant Hare Krishna and we serve Krishna with love. We become devotees of Krishna. Then Krishna will purify us. In this regard, my dear friends, I would like to tell you one story about Tesham Evanukampartham Aham Ajnanajam Tama Nashayami Atma Bhavastho Jnana Deepena Bhaswata. Many years ago, almost 1500 years ago, 1500 years ago, in Maharashtra, on the bank of the river Krishna, lived a Brahman whose name was Silhana Mishra. Mishra is a Brahman family name, surname. Silhana Mishra belonged to a very, very respectable Brahman family. However, due to association with a very low class lady, like a girlfriend, this Silhana Mishra had a girlfriend whose name was Chintamani. And in those days, the society in Bharat, India, was much better than what we see today. There was no internet, of course. There was no westernization. There was no Islamization either. There was Sanatan Dharma prevalent in society. It was not a sinless society because it is Kali Yuga. Regulative principles were being broken because Kali Yuga, Kalir Dosha Nidhe Rajan, Kali Yuga is the ocean of faults. However, it was still much better than the contemporary society. And having a girlfriend was looked down upon, especially for someone belonging to such a pure Brahman family as Silhana Mishra. The nature of material attachments is such, my dear friends, that we lose control of our mind. And as we discussed in the previous session, we develop tolerance to sense gratification. Just like we develop tolerance to medicines, we develop tolerance to sense gratification. If someone is taking a pain medicine for a long time, then after some time, that dose of the pain medicine will not produce the same effect that it did in the beginning. And then you need higher and higher doses of that same medicine to get the desired effect because of tolerance. Similarly, my dear friends, we develop tolerance to sense gratification. And then that sense gratification is not enough. Then we want something more. We want to spice it up a little bit more, and then a little bit more, and then a little bit more. That is just how human nature is. And Silhana Mishra became so attached to this girlfriend that even though it was socially a big taboo, Silhana Mishra couldn't care less. All of you will be quite aghast to know that Silhana Mishra, who was perhaps in his 30s, the day his father died, that evening, a big thunderstorm was supposed to come. So the cremation was done quickly in the afternoon so that the cremation would be completed before the thunderstorm struck in the late evening. However, Silhana Mishra was very restless and he was asking the priests to hurry up in the last rites, Anteshti Kriya, because he apparently was getting late in meeting Chintamani, his girlfriend. He had a appointment with her and he wanted to very much keep that appointment. So he was rushing the priest. Come on, jaldi, quick, quick, come on, fast. Finish, I have to go and meet Chintamani. And the respectable people who had come to attend the cremation of his father, they were quite mortified. What has become of this son? He's the son of a Brahman, Silhana Mishra. How shameless he is that in front of his elders, he's saying that he wants to go and meet his girlfriend. And that girlfriend did not have Silhana Mishra as her only boyfriend. She had many boyfriends. So everyone was criticizing, ridiculing Silhana Mishra. He had become a laughing stock for the village because of the way he was behaving. And he realized it. I have become a laughing stock, but he could not resist. He persisted. We can persist or we can resist. Resisting was not in the dictionary of Silhana Mishra. He persisted in his sense gratification with his girlfriend. And even while the cremation was not yet complete and the ashes had not been collected in an earthen pot, Silhana Mishra complained and was fretting, you guys are too slow, too slow. And he left the cremation ceremony halfway and made it to the ghat of the Krishna river to meet with Chintamani. He wanted to get on a boat, hire a boat, cross the Krishna river, and Chintamani's house was just on the other side of the river. But because of the thunderstorm warning, not a single boatman was doing business that evening. Everyone had pulled their boats out of the river, placed them upside down so they don't collect water, and they had gone home. The entire ghat was closed. No boatmen were there. And Silhana Mishra was so desperate to meet Chintamani that even though it had started raining cats and dogs, there was torrential downpour, there was thunder, lightning. The current of the Krishna river was very, very swift. Silhana Mishra was so desperate to meet Chintamani that he dove into the choppy waters, the swift current of the Krishna river. and he tried to swim, but he underestimated the power of the swift current of Krishna River due to the floods, and he almost drowned. As he was trying to save himself by swimming, he considered himself extremely lucky that he found a log of wood. Because the sun had set, the sky was covered with dark clouds and there was no light from the sun, moon, or stars. It was a completely dark night. Silhana Mishra could see nothing. And because it was raining, there was no question of torches. It was dark, pitch dark. Silhana Mishra was very lucky, he thought to himself, that I have found this log of wood. Somehow grabbing onto that log of wood for some buoyancy, Silhana Mishra somehow or the other made his way to the other bank, the opposite bank. By this time, he was severely weather beaten. He had taken on a lot of water. He was coughing. He was shivering due to the cold and the wind and the rain. And somehow he hobbled along to the house of Chintamani. Chintamani was quite sure that Silhana Mishra will not show up because of inclement weather, because of the rough weather. She knew there's no way he's going to come. No boatman, severe storm, he will not come today, maybe tomorrow. So she closed and locked the gate of her house and then also locked the doors and the windows of her house. So there was a high wall with a gate. She closed that gate. Then there was the courtyard, and then there was the house. And because it was pouring, Chintamani closed the windows and the door so water doesn't come inside her house. And she stayed put, just wanted to weather the storm. And even though it was so noisy outside due to the rains and the thundering from time to time, she heard a loud thud outside the house and screaming and wailing sound. What had happened was Silhana Mishra had made his way to Chintamani's house. Finding the gate locked did not dampen his spirits. Even though everything was very wet, it didn't dampen his spirits. He found a rope that was hanging from the wall and thought, oh, my Chintamani loves me so much. She left a rope for me to climb onto the wall. And the wall was slippery, everything was wet. Still, Silhana Mishra somehow jumped and struggled and held onto that rope, and somehow he climbed the wall. But as he was crossing over the wall, he slipped due to the wetness. And the wall was perhaps 10-15 feet high. And Silhana Mishra fell on the ground and he hurt his head. He had a severe concussion. He perhaps had some other injuries also. And he fell on the ground and it was hurting like anything. So he was screaming, help, help. Chintamani thought she heard something. She went to the window of her bedroom and opened the window and saw Silhana Mishra's body lying almost lifeless. She ran down, opened the door, ran across the courtyard to Silhana Mishra. He was badly hurt. She somehow dragged him into the house and dried him and gave him some warm clothes to cover his body. She gave him some hot tea. And when Silhana Mishra came to his senses, he realized that Chintamani had saved him. Oh, he was so grateful to Chintamani. He said, Chintamani, you are the best person in the whole world. You saved my life. Do you know, Chintamani? To meet you, I crossed the river. I swam across the river and I was drowning, but somehow I found a log of wood and I held on to it and I crossed the river. But as I crossed the river, I realized that that was not a log of wood. It was actually a human carcass. It was actually a human dead body. Because someone had died and it must have been raining upstream also. There was no wood, dry wood to cremate in such extraneous circumstances. Our Shastra says it's okay to put the dead body into a river. And then the body decomposes and releases many gases which make the body float. Silhana Mishra said, I held on to that, what I thought was a log of wood, but when I came to the shore, I touched carefully and realized, oh, there are 2 feet, there are 2 hands, there's a face. Oh, it's a corpse. Anyway, I came and I saw that you had locked the door. I don't blame you for locking the door. It was such a crazy storm outside. Good you locked the door, but very thoughtfully you left the rope for me, I thought. So I somehow grabbed onto the bricks and the rope and I somehow climbed up on the wall. But then I realized there was a hole in the wall and that rope was not actually a rope. It was a python. Pythons don't like rain and the python was trying to get into the hole to protect itself from the rain because pythons are cold-blooded creatures. If they get wet, they will not be able to maintain their temperature. It was trying to go inside and I was trying to hold on to him. And when I got on the wall, it's a python, it's not a rope. And whoa, I fell. But you came and you saved me, oh Chintamani. I owe my life to you. You're so loving. Chintamani could not believe what she just heard, that this crazy fellow left his father's cremation halfway, came to the ghat, finding that all the boatmen had left, it was too dangerous. He jumped into the flooded Krishna river, swam across, held on to a human corpse, grabbed a python, climbed the wall, and almost died because of falling down. Oh, Silhana Mishra, you are such a crazy fellow. Do you really think I'm so attractive? Don't you know that every hole of my body stings? Every opening of this body is disgusting. I have to clean it, wash it, perfume it to make it attractive. It's temporary and artificial. After a few hours, the whole body stings. The sweat stings, the underarm sting, the mouth stings, the nose stings, the earwax stings, genital sting. This body is a factory of stinking, disgusting substances. And you have such attraction for this body of urine, stool, mucus, and bile that you are willing to risk your life to come and embrace me. Oh, Silhana Mishra, if you had this dedication to Sri Krishna, you would become a very, very great devotee. You have determination, but you have determination for the wrong person. The supreme person, the most beautiful, the most attractive is Sri Krishna. If you show this commitment, if you show this dedication for Sri Krishna, oh, what a great devotee you will become. Somehow Krishna inspired Chintamani to speak like this. Silhana Mishra stood up. Those words of Chintamani, they had such a deep impact on the heart of Silhana Mishra. It was the epiphany of his life. It was that moment he decided, what am I doing? What have I become? Chintamani is right. I'm wasting my life. Without saying a word to Chintamani, Silhana Mishra bowed down to Chintamani. In his heart, accepted her as Vartama Pradarshak Guru and went to search for his Diksha Guru. Where there is a will, there is a way. Ye yatha mam prapadyante tam sathaiva bhajamya. Krishna reciprocated. And Silhana Mishra got a Vaishnava Guru called Sri Somgiri Maharaj. And from Somgiri Maharaj, Silhana Mishra got initiation. And he got the name Bilvamangal. And he performed bhajan very seriously. And he wrote the famous Agre Kurunam Atha Pandavanam Dushasanena Ritavastra Kesha Krishna Tadakroshadhanannenatha Govinda Damodar Madhaveti. The famous Govinda Damodar Stotra was written by Bilvamangal at the ashram of Sri Somagiri Guru Maharaj. When Sri Somgiri Maharaj read the Govinda Damodar Stotra, he said, Bilvamangal, this is so exquisitely beautiful. Each verse gives remembrance of the Supreme Lord Krishna and his different avatars like Ram and Narasimha. Oh, this is so beautiful. You have encapsulated different leelas in these some 71 odd verses that you have written. This is so beautiful. Oh Bilvamangal, I offer you the title Leela Shuka. Just like Shukdev Goswami shook this world by giving us Krishna Leela in Srimad Bhagavatam. Similarly, you have touched my heart by writing this Govinda Damodar Stotra. So from today, Bilvamangal, your name will be Leela Shuka Bilvamangal. There are many Bilvamangals, but there is only one Leela Shuka Bilvamangal Thakur. You have shown such an attraction for Sri Vrindavan Dham. What are you doing here in Maharashtra? Go, Leela Shuk, Bilvamangal Thakur, go. I bless you. Go to Vrindavan and never come back. Stay in Vrindavan, absorb yourself in Radha Krishna Bhajan and make your life completely perfect. Go, my child, go. Go to Vrindavan. All good fortune to you. After receiving the blessings of his Gurudev, Sri Somagiri Maharaj, our Leela Shuk, Sri Bilvamangal Thakur, started walking from Maharashtra to Sri Vrindavan Dham. Through cities, through towns, through villages, through forests, crossing over mountains, walking through valleys, he started walking and walking and walking and walking and walking. If he got some food, he would eat, otherwise he would starve. One day, quite exhausted, Leela Shuk, Sri Bilvamangal Thakur, came to the outskirts of a village. On the outskirts of the village was the well where everyone would come to fetch water. And a young Brahmani, wife of a Brahman, was drawing water from the well. As she bent over to draw the water, Bilvamangal Thakur's eyes fell upon her. For many years, he had engaged in illicit sense gratification with Chintamani. All those conditionings, all those samskars, all those impressions were in his mind. And by seeing the shapely form of that young lady who was a Brahmani, Bilvamangal, who had practiced years and years of Nam Bhajan, Japa, Kirtan, contemplation, reading Shastra, Swadhyay, and writing and giving classes. Bilvamangal Thakur was dressed in saffron cloth. He had become sannyasi. And as a sannyasi, he was going to Vrindavan to take Kshetra sannyas in Vrindavan, never to leave Vrindavan. And on the way, after writing Govinda Damodar Stotra, after taking sannyas, after receiving the Upadhi, Leela Shuka, our Bilvamangal Thakur, due to his previous conditionings, felt helplessly, lustily attracted to this wife of a Brahman. Hare Krishna. He just kept looking at her. And he was remembering the things he did with Chintamani. And he is looking at this lady. And he's thinking, oh, it will be so nice if I get her. My senses have been starving for so many days. Such a beautiful lady. He kept looking at her shamelessly. The village ladies who had come to fill water noticed it. The Brahmani noticed it. And she pulled her pallu further down to cover her face. She quickly filled water and started briskly walking towards her home. And Bilvamangal shamelessly, as a sannyasi clad in saffron cloth, started following her. Bilvamangal followed her all the way to her home. Her husband was at the door and saw the sannyasi enter the courtyard behind his wife. The wife hastily entered the house into the kitchen. Under her breath, she murmured to her husband that the glances of the sannyasi are making her uncomfortable. And she went inside the kitchen. The Brahman came out, saw Bilvamangal in the form of a sannyasi clad in saffron cloth. The Brahman, understanding Bilvamangal to be a respectable personality, offered his obeisances and asked, "O Sannyasi Thakur, who are you and how can I serve you?" Bilvamangal Thakur said, "My name is Leela Shuka." Bilvamangal Thakur, "You, Govinda Damodar Stotra. We all recite it in our village. We have heard of it. Some traveling pilgrims brought a copy and we have it and we sing it, we recite. Oh, it's so beautiful. You are..." "Yes, I am that Bilvamangal Thakur. We are so fortunate you have become our Atithi, you have become our guest. Please tell me how we can serve you. By serving a great devotee like you, our lives will be perfected, our house will become purified. In fact, our ancestors will be liberated if we serve you. Please tell us how we can serve you," the Brahman said. Bilvamangal Thakur looked inside the house over the shoulder of the Brahman, and peeping inside the house, he said, "I want to go inside your house and I want to spend time with your wife. That is the only charity I want." The jaws of the Brahman dropped. Oh, your sannyas. Oh, he couldn't believe. But at the same time, He thought that here is a very, very great person. There must be a divine purpose why he's making such a demand. Maybe I'm not able to understand. So he went inside the house and told the wife, it is our dharma to serve the sannyasi. But it is dharma of the sannyasi to be celibate. His dharma he knows. But our dharma is to be subservient to the sannyasi. It is my request that please let the sannyasi come inside and you meet with him. And I will wait outside in the courtyard. The Brahman went out, told Bilvamangal to go inside the house. You see, dear devotees, please do not be angry upon hearing this narration. The human society was quite different then. Remember, this is more than 1000 years ago in India. The culture, the customs, the way people thought, their lifestyle, their beliefs, their ideals. Today in the 21st century, we cannot really comprehend what was the culture like. So some things may seem very, very odd, but please understand that these were very cultured people, much more cultured and advanced than us. The Brahman came and told Bilvamangal Thakur, Srila Prabhupada tells this story. You can go inside, sir. Bilvamangal Thakur was so happy. His desires were getting fulfilled. Quickly he walked inside the house, closed the door, and latched it from inside. The Brahmani was sitting in the bedroom. Bilvamangal Thakur went inside, looked at her, and kept looking at her. The door was closed. The Brahmani was willing to comply. The Brahman had given his permission, and Bilvamangal Thakur is inside alone with the Brahmani. My dear friends, please forgive me for speaking this story so explicitly, but please try to understand. This is Bilvamangal Thakur, the author of Govinda Damodar Stotra. He is going to Vrindavan on the orders of his Gurudev. But because of his previous activities, because of what he had done in his youth, the conditionings were so powerful that he slipped and got trapped by Maya. And right now, Bilvamangal Thakur is in the darkest phase of his life. He has committed many sins, but nothing compares to what he's about to do. Because he is initiated devotee, he is a sannyasi, he is in saffron cloth, he is going to Vrindavan, and the whole world knows him as a devotee, as a Vaishnava. And on the way to Vrindavan, he is about to indulge in illicit sense gratification. And there is no one in the room other than the Brahmani, beautiful young Brahmani, and Bilvamangal Thakur, who is also young. Remember, he's a young man, maybe in his 30s. As Bilvamangal gazed at the Brahmani, Tesham evanukampartham aham ajnanajam tama nashayami atmabhavasto jnana deepena bhasvata happened, my dear friends. Something happened in the heart of Shri Bilvamangal Thakur. He heard an inner voice, the Paramatma, Shri Krishna, who said, Oh Thakur Mahashay, what are you doing? You are the disciple of Shri Somagiri Maharaj. I gave you realizations based on which you composed Govinda Damodar Stotra. You have followers. You have people who look up to you. And you are about to commit the most heinous sin of having illicit sense gratification with a Brahmani. Please desist from doing what you're doing immediately. When that thought came in the heart of Bilvamangal Thakur, it was like the darkness just completely dispelled by the knowledge of Paramatma, Krishna. He looked at the Brahmani and said, "Oh Brahmani, please remove your hairpins." In those days, they used to tie a bun and then to hold it in place, they would put hairpins. She had two hairpins. Bilvamangal Thakur said, "Oh mother, please give me those two hairpins." And the Brahmani was thinking, he's asking my hairpins so my hair opens up and he can see my beautiful black hair. But then why is he calling me a mother? Anyway, her husband had said, please satisfy him. So she took out the two hairpins and gave to Bilvamangal Thakur. And right there in that room, in front of that Brahmani, Bilvamangal Thakur, he pierced his eyes with those hairpins and gouged his eyes out. The first enucleation surgery of the world. No anesthesia, nothing. With those long hairpins, he just gouged his eyes out and became permanently blind. And then, touching the door and the wall, somehow he made his way out of the house. And you can imagine the angst of the Brahmani who saw Bilvamangal just gouge his eyes out. And you can imagine the horror that the Brahman felt when Bilvamangal somehow opened the door and stumbled outside in the courtyard with no eyes and just blood pouring out of his eye sockets. Bilvamangal just stumbled out of the house onto the road and started asking people, "Where is Vrindavan? Where is Vrindavan? Where is Vrindavan? Where is Vrindavan?" As people told him, "Go here, go there," Bilvamangal Thakur walked hundreds of kilometers in the forest. Imagine he has no practice of walking without vision. It's not that Bilvamangal was born blind. He suddenly became blind. His other senses were not so keen, like it happens in people who have been blind for a long time. He was stumbling. He was falling. He was getting hurt. He was just roaming here and there trying to reach Vrindavan with no one to accompany him. Nothing, no analgesics, no food, no doctor, nothing. He just walked and walked and walked. Took him a long time. Finally, when he was in a village, getting desperate because he was not able to reach Vrindavan, he would make wrong turns, walk in the wrong direction. If you simply close your eyes and you walk, generally you tend to walk towards your right side or on one side. It's not very easy to walk completely straight. So he would go here and there, sometimes in circles, sometimes falling, sometimes bumping into a tree, stepping on a thorn, stepping on a sharp pebble. But he was determined to go to Vrindavan. When he kept failing in his attempts, in one particular village, when he asked, "Where is Vrindavan? Can someone point me towards Vrindavan?" A young boy was herding his cows And when he heard the request of Bilvamangal Thakur, he said, Baba, you want to go to Vrindavan? And Sri Bilvamangal Thakur said, Yes, Lala, I want to go to Vrindavan. How far is it? Well, it's a few days' walk. But you know what? Even I am going to Vrindavan. So here, hold my hand. We will walk together to Vrindavan. And finally, Bilvamangal Thakur was relieved to find a companion. And that companion was a young boy, maybe 10 years old, but he was very talkative. Throughout the walk, throughout the trek, he kept asking Bilvamangal Thakur, So Babaji, what do you do? Oh, beta, I am a Vaishnava, sannyasi. What does that mean? I am just a cowherd boy. I don't understand all these big, big words. Oh, beta, I have dedicated my life, Madgata Prana, to Krishna. I am going to Vrindavan because Vrindavan is the land of Baba. Who is Krishna? Beta, Krishna is described in Srimad Bhagavatam. Can you tell me? Start from the first canto. So this boy is holding the hand of Bilvamangal Thakur. They are walking to Vrindavan. It takes them days, and this boy keeps asking questions about Krishna. And Bilvamangal Thakur blissfully is speaking. Kathayantascha mam nityam tushchanti charamanti. Forgets the pain in his eyes. He forgets the infection in his eyes. He forgets all his sufferings. He forgets the fact that he will never be able to see again. He keeps on speaking Krishna Katha. And that Krishna Katha is like nectar. Amrit. Tava Katha Amritam. Tapta Jivanam. He experiences that. As long as he's speaking Krishna Katha, he doesn't feel any pain, any hunger, any thirst, any inconvenience. He's enlightening the boy with Krishna Katha, and the boy is asking very nice questions. Oh, why Krishna did like this? Why Krishna? Why this? Why that? So Leela Shuka Bilvamangal Thakur is not only speaking Krishna Katha, but he's also giving a commentary on Srimad Bhagavatam. Just like Parishit Maharaj was asking questions, this boy was asking questions. And the narrations of Krishna kept on expanding and expanding and expanding. Finally, they reached Vrindavan. And on the banks of Yamuna, the boy said, Baba, let us take a bath here. And together they took bath in the refreshing, cooling waters of Yamuna. And when they came outside, dried themselves, the boy helped him change into his dry clothes. And then the boy finally told Leela Shuk, Sri Bilvamangal Thakur, that this is Vrindavan and this is where we part ways. I told you I will bring you to Vrindavan, and I brought you to Vrindavan. Now I will go my way and you go your way. Bilvamangal Thakur reached out and held the hand of the 10-year-old boy and said, Lala, so many days we have been traveling partners. Day and night we have been together. You cooked for me, you begged for me, you fed me, you held my hand as I walked. As I was walking with you, not one sharp stone pierced my feet, not one thorn troubled me. It was as if I was walking on soft green grass. Oh, my dear child, I have become attached to you. Your sweet voice, your inquisitiveness, your simplicity, your love, the way you call me Baba, Baba. My ears have gotten used to it. I don't have eyes. I have never seen you, but I have become attached to you. Is it possible that we continue to stay together? Is it possible that I can stay near your house here? Looks like you are a local here. The boy said, "That is not possible, Baba. I only told you I will bring you to Vrindavan. Now I have a lot of things to do. I have cows to graze. My mother is waiting for me. I play with my friends. I cannot be sitting with an old blind man like you." Bilvamangal Thakur tightened his grip on the 10-year-old boy's wrist and said, "Lala, I really cannot live without you. Please let me live under a tree close to your house. So when you play with your friends, I will hear your voice. When you call out to your mother, I will hear your voice. Please, I am very attached to you. Look, I have no other possessions. I don't know why, but my heart is getting attracted to you. My heart is getting attracted to you like never before. I have never felt such attraction, and I have never had such fear of losing someone like I'm experiencing now for you. My dear child, my dear boy, Lala, please don't leave me." And the boy twisted his hand, and Bilvamangal Thakur tightened his grip, and the boy tried to free himself. And Bilvamangal Thakur, with both hands, tried to hold on to the boy, but the boy slipped out of the grip of Bilvamangal Thakur and ran away. Just as he was running away, in the heart, Nashayami Atmabhavastu Jnana Deepena Bhaswata, Bilvamangal Thakur felt, "Oh, this is Krishna. This boy was Krishna. How could I not understand it before? The fragrance, the sweetness of his voice, the sound of the nupur as he walks. How could I not understand? Oh, I'm such a fool. This was Krishna." And then spontaneously, Leela shook Shri Bilvamangal Thakur right then and there. As Krishna ran away from his grip and Bilvamangal Thakur fell to the ground. Even before standing up, Bilvamangal Thakur spontaneously composed a verse. Hastam akshipayato asmi balat krishnam kimadbhutam hridayam yadi nirhasi paurusham ganayami te. Shri Bilvamangal Thakur said, "Hastam akshipayato asmi, you have released your hand from my grip. Balat Krishna kimadbhutam. What is so great about that, Krishna? You think you are very strong that you released yourself from the grip of my hands as I was holding on to you? You think you are very powerful, very strong, that you escaped my grip? Hridayam yadi nirhasi. If you can free yourself from my heart, paurusham ganayamite, then I will consider that you have some prowess." Haribol. This is Bilvamangal Thakur. Says, "Krishna, you can free yourself from my grip, but you cannot free yourself from the grip of my heart. I have imprisoned you in my heart. Escape from my heart and show me. You cannot. You have been trapped in my heart. I have captured you in my heart. Tomara hriday sada Govinda Vishram." And from that day, my dear friends, Leela Shuk Shri Bilvamangal Thakur stayed in Vrindavan, took Kshetra Sannyas, never left Vrindavan, and wrote Krishna Karnamrit. Haribol! And this Krishna Karnamrit was one of the favorite books of Mahaprabhu, Sri Chaitanya Dev. This story is very dear to my heart because it shows the ups and downs in the life of a devotee. So don't be disheartened by failures, my dear friends. Even great personalities like Bilvamangal Thakur. It is said when he wrote Govinda Damodara Stotra, he was on the platform of Bhav. Just one step before Prem. And still he fell. Bharat Maharaj was on the platform of Bhav, worshipping Shaligram Shila in Gandaki. And he fell to such an extent that he became a deer. We should not lose hope. Neha Vikrama Nashosti Prattavayana Vidyad. Even if we fall, Krishna will save us. He saved Bharat Maharaj, became Jada Bharat and attained Vaikuntha. He saved Bilvamangal Thakur. He became a Brajvasi. And every time Bilvamangal Thakur would write a verse, every single day for the rest of his life, Shri Krishna would come and he would argue with Bilvamangal Thakur. Yeah, this is not right. This, you write it like this, it will be better. I think this correction is required here. This, and Bilvamangal Thakur back and forth would argue, no, this is better, this is better. But then finally he would listen to Krishna. And then Krishna would say, now, abhi sunao, now make me hear. And then Bilvamangal Thakur would sing his verses and Shri Krishna would hear. Therefore, in the first verse of Krishna Karnamrit, Shri Bilvamangal Thakur writes, Chintamanir jayati soma girir gurur me Shiksha guruscha bhagavan shikipicha maule. Very beautiful. Bilvamangal Thakur begins Krishna Karnamrit by offering obeisances to Chintamani, his ex-girlfriend. Chintamanir jayati. Why? Because she became the Patha Pradarshak Guru, Vartama Pradarshak Guru. Patha and Vartama is same. She showed the path. Vartama Pradarshak Guru. Chintamanir jayati somagirir gurur me. And who is my Diksha Guru? Somagiri. And who is my Shiksha Guru? Shiksha Guruscha Bhagavan Shikipicha Maule. My Shiksha Guru is Bhagavan Shri Krishna, who wears a peacock feather in his turban. Hari Bol! Vartama Pradarshak Guru, Diksha Guru, Shiksha Guru. Every day Krishna would come and teach him, hear his compositions. So, this is the meaning of Tesham Evanukampartham Aham Agyanajam Tam Anashayami Atma Bhavastho Jnana Deepena Bhasvata. Even if we fall down in our darkest moment, Krishna will save us. Krishna will give us the right knowledge. If Tesham Satayuktanam Bhajatam Priti Purvaka. So we should be very hopeful. We should feel very happy, very protected by Krishna's love. And we should not be discouraged or disheartened by failures. Failures will inevitably come. We will slip. We should not be idealistic about our Krishna consciousness. We will fall. Important thing is not whether we fall or not. Important thing is that we get up after we fall. And for that we need association of devotees. For that we need encouragement. Therefore, we have a society of devotees. So these are some of the thoughts that I wanted to share about the chhatushloki. We don't have time now. We are way over time. But next session, I will play the role of a ignorant person, which I am. So it will come naturally to me. And all of you have to teach me chhatushloki. I will ask questions and you have to teach me. So please read and come next time. Thank you very much, dear devotees. Hare Krishna. We will not take any questions because it is very late. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol. Jai Jai Shri Radhe.
Radhe